It. So dear friends, this is a very significant and relevant class on love, love as self-emptying, love as kenosis, love as blissful. We will deal with this topic of love purely from a philosophical point of view. Let me start with a few slides, and after that we will come to some explanation. Okay, love as abandonment. That is how we begin this session. Love as abandonment, abandoning oneself. That is, it's beautiful, and at the same time, it is challenging. Let's again introduce two more categories. Love as abandonment. And before that, let's talk about the two categories, one of appropriation. There is an inner emptiness. There is a lack, that is the word Lacan uses. Emptiness, lack, inferiority, that is there. Normally, we try to fill that emptiness using the terminology of appropriation. The emptiness that we feel within ourselves, we fill it with things, money, possession, that is appropriation. Or a more genuine, authentic one is, we can fill this emptiness with abandonment. Let things go. Let's see more about it. The ennui, the emptiness, we fill using money, possession, things, using creating a good name and fame for us, and or by work, by hard work. Some of these things are good ones, but we try to fill our inner emptiness, ennui, by these things. Also, the danger for many of us when you become, say, parish priests or headmasters is you try to have power over people, control people and manipulate them, not just sexually. Even when you know that there are 7 people who are totally dependent on you, then you try to foster that dependency, not because you want to help them, but because you are innerly empty. Sartre has got a very, very interesting and insightful quote. While I attempt to free myself from the hold of the other is trying to free himself from the hold of mine. So it is mutually holding each other. While I seek to enslave the other seeks to enslave me. And this enslaving, this having hold on the other, is a way of appropriating myself more things and persons so that I feel rich, I feel full. So, I feel useless because I am empty, unwanted. Therefore, there is in me the need to be needed, the need that I am of use to someone else. This emptiness leads to striving, control, power, possession. And here the emphasis is on the having mode of living. I want to have more, not I want to be. This is actually, the contribution of the French existentialist Gabriel Marcel. I want to have more, and I want to, this having more somehow fills my emptiness. On the other hand, forced to empty appropriation is this concept of abandonment. And in abandoning myself, I recognize that I am empty. There is inner pain. I am not the greatest person, but still, in my emptiness, in my nothingness, I am. I am nothing. The simplicity of my life, the humility to accept that I am not greater than many other people. Then it may be painful, I can still let things go. I can let things go. Let power be. You know, one of the greatest problems for us religious people is when we reach 65, when we are told to retire, we feel very uncomfortable. Till retirement, we have so many things to do, so much of work and so many people around us. But we are afraid to go back into our work, rooms where there is no engagement, no appointments. So to spend the retirement age leisurely, meaningfully is a great challenge. The British historian Arnold Toynbee has said that. Therefore, many of us religious, we just don't want to retire. We just want to carry on till we die. I hope most of you would have heard of the death of Father Jispet Sauk in Bombay. He was 90 years old. He is a Spanish missionary who joined the Bombay province, came to India, learned Sanskrit, and he has been a very, very hardworking person, but behind the stage. There is this famous journal that comes from Vidyajyoti, itself named Vidyajyoti Journal of Theological Reflections. For decades, this Father Jispet has been working behind the scene. He could somehow work hard and still let himself go. He died at the good old age of 90 at Vinayalaya, Bombay. Let us learn from him and let us also pray for him. He died yesterday, that is 29th July 2020. So this is actually the whole question about abandonment. And then comes the whole interesting phenomenon that I can really recognize my emptiness, and I can actually, after recognizing the emptiness, I can let myself go gracefully and gratefully. And then I recognize that what I am is not the things that I possess. What I am is not the people who are dependent on me. What I am is not even my achievements. What I am is not my sinfulness. Yes, all of us will agree. What I am is also not my greatness, not my virtues, not my prayer, not my sanctity. What I am is simply God's gift. And I am nothing. I am my being and not attached to anything. Success, fame, greatness. I am my true, authentic me, and that is nothing. It's painful, but that is the most liberative aspect of our life. It's painful to know that I am not the greatest. It is painful not to identify myself with my things, with my passions, with my ambitions, with my bloated ego. You know, many of us, especially religious, when we reach the age of 50s and 60s, we have not just the bloated belly, our ego itself grows. We have a bloated ego and we are proud of our achievements. The buildings we constructed, the books we wrote, the people we influenced, we can actually bloat about all this. But instead of clinging on to any of them, can we say, deep down, I recognize my emptiness. Deep down, I'm zero. I'm a cipher. I'm a failure. I'm a failure. And it is here that the greatest discovery about our human beings coming. That my emptiness, when it encounters another one person's emptiness or authenticity, the infinity emerges. You know, this is the mathematical symbol for infinity, for those of you who are familiar with science. So, two emptinesses, when they come together, meet genuinely, then the most beautiful, the most joyful experience happens. When I recognize myself as empty and give myself to another in total trust, the magic, the miracle happens. We both become infinitely rich, joyful, and blissful. This infinity of joy. Therefore, 0 plus 0 could become infinite. And this is the basic message of Christianity. The kenosis, the self-empty. The death of Jesus led to the resurrection. Maybe it is applicable also to the corona victims of today. Unless the seed dies, it will not bear fruit. John 12:24. This lesson, when I accept my nothingness, when I acknowledge my genuineness, authenticity truly, when I recognize my emptiness, when I realize that I am not what I have, I am what I am, my emptiness, then the liberation takes place. The joy, the power, the magic of service, bliss happens. Now we have a quote from Erich Fromm. Erich Fromm was a psychologist, Marxist orientation. He didn't believe in God, but let's see what he says. In contrast to symbiotic union means I help you, you help me, symbiosis. In contrast to symbiotic union, mature love is a union under the condition of preserving one's integrity, one's individuality. My integrity, my individuality, my nothingness is preserved. Love is an active power in us, a power which breaks through the walls which separates us from fellow human beings and which unites us with others. Love makes us overcome the sense of isolation and separateness, that emptiness. Yet, it permits us to be ourselves. Without becoming someone else, love helps us to overcome the sense of isolation and separation, to retain our integrity, the wholeness, the genuineness. In love, the paradox occurs that two beings become one and yet remain two. Their individuality, genuineness, authenticity is affirmed, and still they collaborate with each other. And this is the enchantment, the joyful aspect of love, not merely the romance aspect of love. And this is another quotation from Viktor Frankl. You know Viktor Frankl already. In love, the beloved is comprehended in his very essence as the unique and singular being that he is, the beloved. The beloved is comprehended as a thou, I-thou relationship of Martin Buber, and as such is taken into the self. As a person, the beloved becomes the one who loves him, and he becomes indispensable and irreplaceable without having done anything to bring this about. The beloved becomes indispensable and irreplaceable, not because he is useful to me, not because he is doing something to me. The person who is loved can't help it. The person who is loved, he just cannot avoid it, can't help having this unique and singularity of his self. That is the value of his personality, the emptiness, the vacuum that he is. Love is not deserved, is unmerited, and love is simply grace. Love is simply grace. This is Viktor Frankl. So, that much is above all that we want to say. The love, the beauty, the integrity, and the genuineness of being in love. Accept our own emptiness, our own uniqueness, the nothing, the shunyata of Buddhism. Then, after affirming our own emptiness, when I reach out to the other, we become really our own true self. We experience the power of grace. We experience the joy of resurrection, even through the death and suffering that the coronavirus is bringing about.